Welcome back to the Riverport Business Podcast, the show where we sit down with people shaping business, community and innovation across St Ives and beyond. And on the podcast today, we've got the man who somehow brings half of St Ives business community together before 9 a.m, William Scantlebury, organiser of the Riverport Business Club. We're talking about the club, the people, the benefits, and why it's becoming one of the best places to connect and collaborate locally. William, you are chair of the Riverport Business Club.
Yep, that's right.
How long have you been fulfilling that role?
7 years, 8 years, something like that, 6 years, around about that sort of length anyway.
And I'm a member of the club.
Yep.
And you're the chair and you run it. Why do you think the Riverport Business Club works as a network club?
So what we've tried to do is we've tried to find the right mix of everything, if that makes sense. So there are plenty of different networking groups out there, all with sort of different features and different feels and personalities, and we've tried to find the sort of best of everything really and mix it all together, and that's what we do. We have the right amount of structure, I think, the right amount of business feel, the right amount of humour, and it just works very nicely.
The club meets how often?
Every week. So we have a different meeting structure. We meet every single week, and we either meet online on Zoom or we meet face to face. So we have a big meeting at the beginning of the month, which we normally we use as sort of like a recruitment type event, and we'll have loads and loads of guests at that. And that's a sit down with a meal. We have breakfast there, and then the next one is online on Zoom, and the next one, so the third one in the month, is at a cafe which is run by James and the group, and we meet at his commute cafe for a more informal meeting. But the first meeting is big. It's probably 2.5 hours, 2 hours long, and then the other meetings are always an hour, so nice and short and sharp.
And the power of regular meetings like that is important.
Really, really important. Yeah, this is what we found. There are some networking groups that meet once a month, but we meet every single week. And the reason we do that is that you're right at the front of people's minds. The club operates as a lead generation group, so we try and get business referrals for each other. It's morphed a bit into sort of providing support and peer support, and that works in a number of different ways. But we meet weekly. Yeah, the reason for that is that it breeds familiarity. You get to know everybody really, really well. You know what they do. You know what they don't do. You just know everybody and their businesses inside out. It's really, really good.
Effectively, you're building real relationships, not just raw lead generation relationships.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to networking groups, and you turn up and you hand as many business cards as you can. You hand out as many business cards as you can, and the idea is you get what you can on the day, and that's not what we wanted. We wanted a group where you're building relationships, you're building friendships. It's not about being best buddies or BFFs. It's about getting to know people on a business level, and that sort of naturally creates friendships as well. There's often times where people send me a text, or I'll send them a text and say, look, I'm in your town. Do you fancy going for a beer? Wife's away this week. Do you want to go out for a meal? Whatever. And yeah, it's nice. It's friendships, it's business relationships as well.
And how do you promote the club? Do you use social media?
Social media, yeah, we do a lot of that. It's mainly word of mouth, to be fair. So it's normally people talking about the club to other people, their suppliers, their customers, their clients. But we do a lot on social media. The thing we find is, and there's lots of different ways that networking groups operate on social media. We try and promote the individual members through social media. So we are doing things like we're doing spotlights about people. We will take a business and we'll say, right, this is for example Dave. He runs X Copters. This is what he does. This is how you get hold of him. And we find that has a benefit for the individual members, of course, but it also promotes the club. But the most important thing for us is that we're promoting the members through our social media, which in turn promotes us. Whereas you compare other networking groups, they're all about the club. It's all about promote the club, and the members, although they're in some of the pictures and that sort of stuff, they're not being promoted.
So you're really sort of emphasising the sort of people meeting external to the club and promoting one-to-ones?
Yeah, so we call them one-to-ones, but they could be telephone calls, they could be a meet-up over a coffee, could be a meet-up over a beer, it could be a video call, it could be anything. It's a way over 20 minutes to an hour to get to know the other member in a bit more detail. So we provide sort of pro forma documents if people want to use those, sort of questions you might want to ask or things you might want to discuss. But most times people just go out and they have a coffee and they talk about family, they talk about how they started the business, they talk about their plans, their dreams, that sort of thing. It's getting to know the individual in much more depth.
From my own personal point of view, being a member of the club, what I really like over the large networking organisations is there is a good mix of formality and informality.
Yeah.
Particularly, as you say, there's one meet a month which is more formal, where guests come along, it's face to face.
Yeah.
And we get presentations. But there's also the Zoom meetings. But I think some of the more informal meeting that we have once a month at the Commute Cafe promotes, it sparks ideas.
Yeah.
People coming in moaning about maybe they've had a bad customer or they don't understand how HMRC is asking for their personal identity to be verified. And it's that cross-feeding and fertilisation of information amongst small business owners that doesn't normally have an outlet.
It's really interesting you say that, because the meetings at the Commute, we all arrive, we get our coffees, we sit down, and often there's lots of individual conversations going on, but it seems to develop almost every single time into a group conversation where somebody will say, there'll be a little bit going on, a little pocket of conversations between two or three members, and the rest of the group sort of get involved. So I've had this experience, but how did you deal with it? I've got this letter from HMRC, what do I do with that? Or whatever it is. But yeah, you're right, it develops into a group conversation.
And I think that informality breeds sort of openness. People aren't afraid to talk about something for fear of maybe looking stupid, asking a dumb question, because you're within a group of people that you know pretty well.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody's got an answer to some tricky problem that you've got.
That informality, or trying to get the right mix of the informality and the formality, is that at our main meeting, our big one every month, the first Thursday of each month. So, for example, we each get a minute to talk and to introduce ourselves amongst the group. And you can imagine with 30 people in the room, that can take a while. But we don't cut anybody off. We give an indication that 30, a minute is ideal. If you're 30 seconds, that's fine. If you're a minute and 10, minute 20, that's fine as well. Other clubs will cut you off. If you're talking at 1 minute, that's it. You're done. Stop. Sit down. Be quiet. But this is business. These are people. They're humans, and they want a bit of. They're not robots, are they?
It has a structure, but it's not strict and formal feeling.
Yeah.
It's much more open.
Yeah.
That's the reason I joined.
Friendly.
I was straight in as soon as the offer came up. I was straight there.
Brilliant.
And how do people go about joining?
Come along first. Make sure. Come along. See if you like it, and then it's simply just fill a form out. That's it. We have an annual membership fee, which again is a good thing. Because there are lots of clubs again where you turn up. You turn up and you have a coffee and you do that once a month, and there's no commitment. Members pay an annual fee to become a member, and they will be there every single week, and that's the thing. So yeah, you fill the form out, come along, make sure you like it first, and then you've got an annual membership, and that's it.
And again, from personal experience, I know everybody makes you feel very welcome.
Yep.
You don't feel like you're being judged.
No.
People are there to help and encourage and offer help where they can in different areas, because there's such a sort of large cross-section of businesses in the group.
Yeah, that's quite right. We've got ground workers, we've got accountants, and everybody in between. Not the ones at the bottom, ones at the top, but it's there's a large range of people, and we try and get one from every. We have what we call exclusive category membership. So there's one ground worker, there's one plumber, there's one electrician, there's one mortgage guy, whatever. And so it's not a popularity contest. If somebody comes to the group and says, right, I need the services of this person or this type of business, that's it. There's one person in the club who will hopefully get that referral.
And I think the thing is that everybody has their own specific area that they deal with.
Yeah.
As you say, whether it's groundworks, whether it's more technical things, drone flying, website development, social media, but everybody has the same business problems as a small business.
Yeah.
And that's where there is sort of like a commonality that runs through all the members, especially if somebody's just starting a business.
Yep.
Talking to James just now, there was a lot of things. He had the dream to build up the Commute Cafe, but he came a bit of a surprise about some of the business things that he had to solve along the way. And that was the benefit that he really got out of joining the club.
We do these sessions. We call them Mastermind sessions. To be honest, we copied it from something else that happens in business locally. But the idea is it's a mastermind session. So somebody would come to the club and say, right, I've got a problem with this, or I've got an issue, or I've got something I want to resolve. How would you guys do it? And we will ask a question. So we will sit this person down and say, right, everybody takes turns to ask them a question. It's a short, snappy question. It might be something like, what have you done before? What's the reason you're looking to do this? What happened when you tried it before? Why didn't it work? Whatever it is, a series of short, snappy questions. And then we sort of go back round, and anybody who's heard the answers to the questions wants to suggest a solution or an outcome or something they might want to try, then the person who's writing all these answers down, and sometimes I'll go away with a notebook with 20 or 30 different suggestions for a way to solve a problem. And that is really, really good. That's really strong. It's really powerful.
And if anybody's interested in joining, what's the best way of finding out where to contact the Riverport Business Club? Website, social media?
We've got a website, we've got social media, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn. But yeah, Riverport Business Club, St Ives.co.uk is a website, and that tells you how to get hold of us. Yeah, we'll just come along to a meeting.
Fantastic.
We're on Eventbrite as well.
Yeah.
So have a look at that.
That's fantastic. Thank you, William.
Thank you.
A big thanks to William for joining me today and giving us a proper look behind the scenes at the Riverport Business Club. It's great hearing how much work goes into making the club what it is, a place where local businesses can actually connect and support each other and also grow together. If you haven't been along yet, or you're curious about what the club can do for your business, it's honestly well worth checking out. The energy in the room, the conversations, the opportunities, it all makes a real difference. And if you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like and subscribe for more inspiring business stories right here on the Riverport Business Podcast.